Alrighty, folks, we cashed in on 5 winning tickets on my premium page on Monday. We had the Bulls, Pacers, Blazers, Nuggets. We also hit on a 2-team parlay, and that winning day is going to put us at 5-0 in our last 5 crowd pleaser teasers on my premium page. And if you sign up for that package, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free, going to be included with your membership. We're also 3-0 in our last 3 college basketball tier package picks, and we're also 3-0 in our last 3 board member tier package plays. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to my free pick video here today. For Tuesday, March 18th, 2025, happy Tuesday to you. Hopefully you had a great start to the new week. And if you're joining me for the first time here today, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. As always, the only way you could have accessed all those winning tickets I just mentioned on Monday, well, it's to join my full access, all-inclusive Gold Club package. Gold Club members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. Of course, if you're on the fence about signing up for a membership, maybe you just don't want to pay for something you don't see any value in, well, I've got plenty of free content on my premium page as well, and that includes my current overall win-loss record. I currently have over 2,225 members who are signed up and active on my premium page right now. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. Shout out to ESPN for their extensive coverage of women's basketball. That is awesome. If you want to go on ESPN and check out the guys' matchups, you're not going to be able to find it because we are extensively deep into the women's tournament on ESPN. Good job, guys. Keep it up. St. Francis, PA, taking on Alabama State. 6:40 Eastern tip-off in the first 4. Bama State is -4 totals, 139.5. And as good as the Hornets were in the SWAC tournament, they've certainly had some issues on the offensive end of the floor. For one, they don't spread the ball around a whole lot. They don't get a whole lot of guys involved. They're currently 327th in assists per game. When it comes to shooting the basketball, well, they're making just 40% of their field goals, bottom 20 in the nation in that category. And they're taking on a St. Francis squad who got the W in 8 out of their last 10. Covered the point spread in all of those contests except for one. And more recently, the Red Flash, well, they've been tough to score points against. St. Francis allowed just 59 points a game in their last 4 outings. That's not overly surprising. You know, the Red Flash hold their opponents to just 30% shooting from 3-land. Now, St. Francis saw unders recently against Central Connecticut State and Wagner. And out of Alabama State's last 10 outings, the under cashed in all of those contests except for one. I like St. Francis +4, under 139.5. All right, next matchup, Kent State, St. Bonaventure, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in the NIT. St. Bonaventure is -4, totals 135. The Bonnies are 22-11 on the year, winners of 6 out of their last 7. The Bonnies allowed just 64 points a game on defense. This has been a team who's been very tough to score against. They also rarely send shooters to the foul line. And as a matter of fact, St. Bonaventure is currently 8th in the country in free throws allowed per game. They're giving up just 9 free throws per contest. And they're facing a Kent State team who's had all kinds of problems covering the number recently. The Golden Flashes failed to cover in their last 5 straight, just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10. When it comes to shooting the deep ball, well, Kent State's currently 319th in offensive three-point percentage. Now, Kent State games went 4-1 to the under in their last 5. St. Bonaventure went 60% to the under in their last 10. I like St. Bonaventure -4, under 135. Next game, Jacksonville State taking on Georgia Tech, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Georgia Tech's minus 6.5, totals 142. The Yellow Jackets are 17-16 on the year. Jacksonville State 22-12. And more recently, the Gamecocks covered the number in 6 out of their last 9. Did a nice job on the defensive end of the court this year. Jacksonville State held their competition to just 68 points a game this season, 35th in defensive field goal percentage. They're facing a Georgia Tech squad who's definitely had their fair share of problems on defense themselves. The Yellow Jackets are 307th in defensive boards per game. When it comes to guarding the deep ball, well, Georgia Tech allowed nearly double-digit 3 balls a game. Now, both schools saw unders in 5 out of their last 9, respectively. I like Jacksonville State plus 6.5, under 142. All right, next matchup, Chattanooga taking on Middle Tennessee, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Middle Tennessee's minus 2.5, totals 154. Middle Tennessee's 22-11 on the year. Chattanooga 24-9. The Mocs average nearly 80 points a game on offense this year, double-digit 3 balls a game. Honor Huff leads the Mocs with 15 points per contest, 42% from downtown. And Bash Whelan averages 13 points per contest himself, 56% from the field. And they're facing a Middle Tennessee squad who's certainly had their fair share of issues on offense. The Blue Raiders shot just 31% from 3-land this year, 67% from the stripe. That mined both programs with multiple players who can get to the rack. I like Chattanooga plus 2.5, over 154. Next matchup, St. Louis, Arkansas State, 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Arkansas State's minus 6, totals 154. Arkansas State's 23-10, but they've definitely struggled against the number recently. The Red Wolves failed to cover in 7 out of their last 10. Tough time shooting from long range. The Red Wolves make just 32% of their three-pointers, 42% from the field. They're taking on a St. Louis squad who got the W in 5 out of their last 7. Not a whole lot of foul trouble on D. The Billikens are in the top 30 in fewest free throws allowed. And no real surprise here, St. Louis limits opposing teams to just 41% from the field. Now, Billiken games went 4-3 to the under in their last 7. Unders against the likes of Loyola Chicago, Dayton, and Rhode Island. I like St. Louis plus 6, under 154. Next matchup, Wichita State, Oklahoma State, 9 o'clock East. Oklahoma State's minus 7, totals 155.5. The Cowboys are 15-17 on the year, losing record against the point spread. Wichita on the other side, 19-14 themselves, winning record against the number. More recently, the Shockers covered in 7 out of their last 9. They did a nice job grabbing offensive rebounds this year. 6'11 senior Quincy Ballard averages nearly double-digit boards a game, 75% from the field. And Xavier Bell averages over 14.5 points a game, 89% from the stripe. They're taking on an Oklahoma State team who lost 6 out of their last 9. Gave up a bunch of 3 balls this year. Cowboys gave up 76.5 points a game, 331st in 3-pointers allowed. Their games went 60% to the over in their last 10. Wichita State with overs against Memphis, North Texas, and Tulane. I like Wichita State plus 7, over 155.5. All right, next and final breakdown in college basketball. UC Riverside taking on Santa Clara, 11 o'clock Eastern tip. Santa Clara is minus 10, totals 154.5. The Broncos are 20-12 on the year, covered in 7 out of their last 9. When it comes to guarding the 3 ball, Santa Clara held opposing shooters to just 30% from beyond the arc. They're facing a UC Riverside team who's currently 300th in offensive field goal percentage. When it comes to the number, they failed to cover recently against Cal Poly, Cal State Fullerton, and Cal State Bakersfield. Now, total-wise, Santa Clara games went 60% to the under in their last 10. I like Santa Clara minus 10, under 154.5. And with that, we're going to jump into some NBA action. Hawks Hornets, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Atlanta's -7, totals 237. Atlanta 4 games below 500, losing record against the point spread. Meanwhile, Charlotte has a winning record against the number themselves, covered in 4 out of their last 6. And as much as Charlotte has struggled on offense, they've done a nice job with second chance opportunities. The Hornets are currently 6th in offensive boards per game. Mark Williams averages double-digit rebounds a night, over 15.5 points a game. And LaMelo Ball scores 25 points a night himself, 5 boards, 7 assists. The Hornets saw overs recently with San Antonio and Minnesota. Atlanta games went 7-3 to the over in their last 10. I like Charlotte +7, over 237. All right, next game, Nets Celtics, 7:30 Eastern tip. Boston's -13.5, totals 213. Boston's 30 games over 500, 23-12 in the Garden. Meanwhile, Brooklyn's 23-45 themselves, 12-23 in their travels. More recently, the Nets dropped 8 out of their last 10. Tough time on the defensive end of the floor. The Nets are just 24th in blocks, bottom 5 in defensive field goal percentage. They're taking on a Boston team who got the W in 7 out of their last 8. They're currently first in the league in 3 balls made. Peyton Pritchard drills 41% of his long balls, 14 points a game off the bench. And Jason Tatum's averaging 27 points a night himself, 8 boards, 5 assists. And out of these teams' last 7 gatherings, the Celtics got the W in all of them. Both teams with overs in 5 out of their last 9, respectively. I like the Celtics -13.5, over 213. All right, next matchup, Bucks Warriors, 10 o'clock Eastern tip. Golden State's -3, totals 227.5. Both teams doing a nice job on defense. Golden State 8th in the league in points allowed. Milwaukee 4th in defensive field goal percentage. The Bucks also saw unders in 3 out of their last 5. Golden State with unders recently against New York, Detroit, and Charlotte. I like the under 227.5. All right, next and final breakdown in the NBA. Cavaliers Clippers, 10:30 p.m. East. Cleveland's -3, totals 231. The Cavaliers are 56-11 on the year, 64% against the point spread. More recently, the Cavs got the outright W in 9 out of their last 10. They are 3rd in the league in defensive field goal percentage. And they're facing a Clipper team who's in the bottom 10 in points per game, struggles with turnovers. The Clippers are in the bottom 10 in offensive turnovers per contest. They're making just a dozen 3 balls per game. Now, 5 out of Clippers' last 9 stayed under the line, throwing out that Miami contest. Meanwhile, Cleveland saw 5 out of their last 9 stay under the line themselves. I like the Cavaliers -3, under 231. And with that, we're going to jump into some NHL action. Flames Rangers, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop. The Rangers are -250, totals 5.5. Igor Shesterkin expected in the net for the Rangers. Dan Vladar for Calgary. And even though Vladar's had his fair share of problems, he does have a couple of shutouts on the year. Goals against average of .298. Now, the Flames covered the puck line in 4 out of their last 6 on the road. Winning record against the point spread in all of their contests away from Calgary. They're facing a Ranger club who's struggled against the puck line in Madison Square Garden. They're just 12-21 against the number on their home ice. And out of their last 10 meetings with the Flames, the Rangers were held to under 2.1 goals a game during that span. They actually went just 3-7 straight up in those contests. So if you're into historical trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. New York saw unders in 4 out of their last 5 at home. Calgary 5-1 to the under in their last 6 road games. I like the Flames +1.5, under 5.5 goals. All right, next matchup, Red Wings Capitals, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Washington's $1.65, total 6.5. Charlie Lindgren for Washington, Peter Mrazek for Detroit. Mrazek's just 12-20 in the crease, .892 save percentage. And unfortunately for him, he's facing 30 pucks on net a game. And unfortunately for those guys, they're facing a Caps team who got the W in 6 out of their last 7. They're a top 5 goal-scoring team. Alex Ovechkin has 34 goals on the year, plus 19. And Alexei Protas has 29 goals himself. He's a league best, plus 41. Out of the Caps' last 10 outings, they, oddly enough, saw a handful of unders during that time frame. Meanwhile, 3 out of Detroit's last 5 on the road stayed under the line themselves. I like the Capitals, minus 165, under 6.5. Next game, Islanders, Penguins, 7 o'clock East. Pittsburgh's minus $1.20, totals 5.5. Tristan Jarry for the Pens, Ilya Sorokin for New York. Now, Sorokin's got 25 wins in the net, goals against average of .273. On the offensive end, the Isles are getting plenty of shots on goal. They're actually 5th in pucks on net per game. Anders Lee has 25 goals on the season, plus 17. And Bo Horvat has 21 goals on the year, 44 total points. They're facing a Pittsburgh squad who's allowed a ton of goals this year. As a matter of fact, the Pens give up more goals a game than any other team. That minder Tristan Jarry, he has a goals against average in the 3s, .892 save percentage. Pens games went 4-2 to the over in their last 6 at home, 21-13 to the over in all of their contests in their own barn. I like the Islanders, plus $1, over 5.5. Next contest, Senators, Canadiens, 7 o'clock East. Ottawa's $1.40, totals 5.5. Linus Ullmark for the Sens, Sam Montembeault for Montreal. And even though Sammy's been more than serviceable, the Habs have definitely struggled against Ottawa in recent gatherings. They took the loss in 8 out of their last 10 meetings with the Senators. Just 2.8 goals a game they averaged during that span. And as far as this season's concerned, well, Montreal is getting just 26 pucks on net a game. That puts them in the bottom 3 in that category. And they're facing a red-hot Ottawa club who got the W in their last 6 straight. Just 2.3 goals a game they allowed during that span. As far as this season's concerned, well, the Sens are in the top 10 in fewest goals allowed per contest. Defenseman Thomas Cabot, he's a plus 13 when he's on the ice. Linus Ullmark, 18-11 in the net. Save percentage of .911. I like Ottawa, minus $1.40, under 5.5. Next game, Ducks, Stars, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Dallas is minus 350, total 6. Jake Ottinger for Dallas, Lucas Dostal for Anaheim. Dostal's 20-18 with just 1 shutout on the year. And unfortunately for him, the Ducks allow more shots on goal a game than any other team. They're allowing nearly 35 pucks on net a game. And they're facing a Dallas club who gets plenty of shots on goal a game themselves, 7th in scoring. Jason Robertson has 29 goals on the year, tied for the club lead in points. And Matt Duchene has 41 assists on the season himself, 67 points as well. Now, out of 32 contests in their own building, Dallas has posted a record of 24-7-1. 3 out of the Stars' last 4 at home got over the total, 7-3 to the over in their last 10 at any location. I like Dallas, minus 1.5, over 6. Next game, Blues, Preds, 8 o'clock East. St. Louis is $1.15, totals 5.5. Jordan Binnington for the Blues, UC Saros for Nashville. Now, Saros is just 16-26 on the year, save percentage in the 800s. He's taking on a St. Louis club who got the W in 7 out of their last 10. Led by Jordan Kyrou, who's lit up the lamp 27 times this year, 56 total points. And Rob Thomas has 38 assists, 55 points for him. St. Louis games went 60% to the over in their last 10, 4-2 to the over in their last 6 on the road. I like the Blues, minus $1.15, over 5.5. Next game, Kraken, Blackhawks, 8:30 p.m. East. Seattle's $1.55, total 6. Joey DeCord for the Kraken, Spencer Knight for Chicago. And even though Knights put up some solid numbers, the Blackhawks lost their last 4 straight. Scored just 6 total goals during that time frame. And out of their last 10 meetings with Seattle, the Blackhawks took the loss in all of those contests except for 3. Eeli Tolvanen has 21 goals for the Kraken. Chandler Stevenson with the most points. Kraken games went 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Chicago saw their last 4 in the United Center get over the line themselves. I like Seattle minus $1.55, over 6. Next matchup, Hockey Club, Oilers, 9 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Edmonton's $1.55, total 6.5. Stu Skinner for the Oilers, Karel Vejmelka for Utah. Karel's got a winning record on the year, .245 goals against average. Meanwhile, on the offensive end, the Hockey Club's nearly in the top 10 in goals per game. Clayton Keller's got 75 points on the year, 9th in assists. And Dylan Guenther's got 24 goals, 24 assists for Guenther. They're facing an Edmonton squad who failed to cover the puck line in 7 out of their last 10. Just 10-23 against the number in their own building this year. Goaltender Stu Skinner comes into today's contest with a save percentage of .897. Now, Edmonton saw 2 out of their last 3 in Rogers Place get over the line. Utah's last 4 straight got over the total themselves. I like the Hockey Club plus 1.5, over 6. And with that, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. Jets, Canucks, 10 o'clock East. Winnipeg's $1.65, totals 5.5. Connor Hellebuck for the Jets, Kevin Lankinen for Vancouver. And despite some good numbers out of Lankinen, the Canucks lost 3 out of their last 5, having a tough time in their own building. Out of 32 total contests at home, the Canucks got the W only 13 times. When it comes to offensive production, Vancouver's had a tough time hitting the back of the net. Bottom 3 in goals, just 25 shots on goal a game. They're facing a Winnipeg squad who's tough to score goals against. The Jets currently 3rd in the league in goals allowed. Defenseman Dylan Sandberg's a plus 42. That's 4th highest in the NHL. And goaltender Connor Hellebuck, he's 39-9 with a .199 goals against average. Now, 8 out of the Jets' last 10 did stay under the total. Vancouver 60% to the under in their last 10 themselves. I like the Jets minus 165, under 5.5. And with that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. I like St. Francis plus 4, under 139.5. St. Bonaventure minus 4, under 135. I'm 5-0, my last 5 crowd pleaser teasers on my premium page. 3-0, my last 3 college basketball tier package picks. Jacksonville State plus 6.5, under 142. Chattanooga plus 2.5, over 154. St. Louis plus 6, under 154. Wichita State plus 7, over 155.5. Santa Clara minus 10, under 154.5. Charlotte plus 7, over 237 in the NBA. Celtics minus 13.5, over 213. Give me the under 237.5 in that Bucks-Warriors matchup. Cavaliers minus 3, under 231. NHL, Flames plus 1.5, under 5.5 goals. Capitals minus 165, under 6.5. Islanders plus $1, over 5.5 goals. Senators minus 140, under 5.5. Stars minus 1.5, over 6. Blues minus $1.15, over 5.5 goals. Kraken minus 155, over 6. Hockey Club plus 1.5, over 6 goals. And give me the Jets minus 155, under 5.5. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And if you do end up getting a membership here today on my premium site, just a friendly final reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. Going to be included with your membership. That's why I always tell folks that Gold Club package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. Gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. But most importantly, folks, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. That's it, folks. Happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.